So after a little bit of fiddling around with Fedora, I just installed it. You can see all the things beforehand, but this is me in the actual distro. And at this point in time, I've been using the distro for about 2 weeks and it works wonders. I chose the Fedora GNOME, I think. I'm not really into the whole lingo thing, but if I'm wrong, I'm gonna put some text on the screen here, but I got pretty much everything set up. There was a few hiccups here and there that I'm gonna talk about throughout this video here, but firstly I switched because I was inside the Windows 11 testing environment where I was inside the Insider program, but that did not work for me somehow. It never really installed, update never really got through because I really wanted to do the Xbox full screen experience that you could get through the beta program, but it just ended up breaking my whole update path, and if I had to revert back, I had to reinstall Windows, and I didn't really want to do that. So I had 2 SSDs in this system here, as you can see. So the one right now is my 2TB NVMe SSD, and I have another one right here which has Windows on it. I made it so that the Windows and the Fedora distro here shares my recording folder, so that's pretty cool actually. I had to fill around those settings because in Windows it doesn't shut off the drives when you shut down the system. They still keep them on, and then I could not access them, but I had to go back into Windows 11 and turn that shit off, and then this works fine. So whenever I'm recording here in OBS, which just worked straight out the box, no problems at all, it goes into my OBS recording folder. As you can see right now, there's a file right now for this recording right here, and I got all of my other recordings. As you can see, Wolfenstein, Burning Crusade, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Where Winds Meet Become Human, Diablo, Fallout 76. Right now I'm enjoying Guild Wars 2 actually because I got a little bit tired of World of Warcraft. This is some of the recordings that I just did today, and the recording is really good actually. So as you can see here, that works too, which is pretty fucking cool. If I go back and forth here, it looks wonderful. So that's not a problem at all. And this is some of the gameplay that I'm recording here straight on Fedora using OBS and Steam. So Steam was one of the other things that I had to fiddle around with a bit, but it worked wonders. Right now I am playing a few games. As you can see here, Adventure Quest 3D is one I want to work on later. Borderlands, next video coming up. The Oblivion here actually worked better than it did on Windows, which was fucking awesome actually. Fallout 4, 76, and New Vegas. I recently did a video on Fallout New Vegas where it just didn't really fucking work on Windows, but here I have had no problems at all. I have not done any modding on it whatsoever and just works. Also some older games like Guild Wars 2 just worked straight out the box with Proton. Just great examples where winds meet. So yeah, if I go straight into Firefox here and we go into ProtonDB, this is where I check if any of the games that I have works. Right now I'm not logged in, but if I want to say Fallout 4, I can go straight in there and check, okay, Fallout 4, that's gold, and I can see PCs here. I can even filter by distros. Fedora, my GPU, that's an ND, and I have an Intel CPU, and I can save those. And all the people that have left a review on this game through Steam's Proton on ProtonDB, you can see Fedora Linux, 16GB RAM, and RX 600, and this game runs better for me on Proton hotfix than it's on Windows or Xbox, especially since the NG update catastrophe, incredible, not a single crash with Proton. And that's also what I'm experiencing at the moment. I have had far less issues with the compatibility layer that Steam has produced with Proton than I actually had natively on Windows, which actually boggles me quite a bit. The whole experience here with Fedora was quite good actually. I have touched the terminal a lot actually. I've installed a few things, for example fast fetch, and I fiddled with how the screen works. So for example, when I started up the terminal here, it was actually more like this, 102 by 31. I changed it so that when I open it up and I tasked fast fetch, it fits the window here, as you can see by the pixels. So it shows the ASCII art or the ASCII art or however you want to call it with my system information here. That's like so customizable. It's pretty cool. I also installed this dock here, which you can see under extensions, which is dash to dock, because when I installed the fresh install of Fedora, this didn't come with it, only had this one. Also fiddle around and put my apps and my places up here so I can access my files quicker. And just in general, this distro looks really cool. I did have one hiccup though. Whenever I shot shut my PC off, the fan's RGB, the CPU fan's RGB just did not shut down. The fan shut down perfectly, the whole system shut down, but the RGB was still turned on. So what I did was I installed through the software manager here something called OpenRGB, which lets me utilize the RGB that's in my motherboard, my mouse as well. My Razer mouse works perfect, so I can turn it in different colors. So this opens up when I open up the PC. So I have not filled it with it too much, but it opens up on startup. Then I go in. It usually opens up in like a rainbow kind of color, but I then just turn it to black and it's off. It's also saved that profile for when I shut the PC off, so I don't have a random blinking CPU fan just going off. The one other thing that I was concerned about was that I was not able to play World of Warcraft, but I found a program called Bottles here, which this run Windows in Bottles, and it works perfectly for using Battle.net actually. So if I just open this up, this is a pretty awesome experience. What this is basically, what of my understanding is that you create a bottle, and this bottle there's a Windows environment or the Windows setup so that you can install Windows files on this. So if a bottle breaks, I am able to throw this bottle out without breaking any of the other bottles that I have created. So that's pretty cool. So in this one bottle here, I set it up for 65-bit Windows, gaming, and with the GE Proton 10-28 compatibility layer. And then I installed Battle.net, which as you can see, I have a playtime of 1.5 hours. So I've been using this fairly since I downloaded it. So I just launched this and it launches straight into Battle.net. There you go. I can just minimize bottles here and it goes straight into Battle.net. And I want to appear offline. That's great. You can see it works perfect. It does the downloads that I need instantly, just like it did on Windows, mind it. But if I go in and I want to play World of Warcraft here, I can just play here and it just launches it almost instantly. And the one other thing that I was also concerned about was that, oh yeah, the good old World of Warcraft here. So I can go straight into Thunderstrike here, and here's my character. And this game just works wonderful. There's no hiccups, no nothing. It just works. So yeah, that's perfect. As you can see here, it works great. Just see if you can take out an enemy down here. And as you can see here, it works wonders. There's nothing that has to be done or anything. It just worked. So bottles I set up with the Proton compatibility layer, and it just worked. So there was no real danger to using that. I installed bottles through the I think it was the terminal, but I can't really remember. And just click it. It's done. It's over. There was a little thing about when I had to set up the display here, which was that I had to fiddle a little bit with the settings, because the hertz, the refresh rate of my monitors was set to 60 frames a second. It didn't work quite out of the box. So what I did was I did one display port, which is the Acer screen here, and one HDMI, and that fixed it. I don't know why. So yeah, that's one of the weird issues that I had. There was only 60 refresh rates when I used two display ports, and I had to switch one of them to HDMI and the second display to a display port, and then it worked fine. I had the second monitor 180 hertz and the main monitor for 240. So yeah. One of the other things that also wasn't fine, the power settings, go into the power manager, the old power connector, and set the performance mode. How I liked it, I just went in here, set the power mode to performance instead of balance or power saver, and I can immediately go into the power settings here and see if everything sets up. It's a little bit more user-friendly than it was on Windows, if I'm being honest. The great thing about this is also the updates. So here you can see all the updates that are available for my system right now. Python, there's some libraries, a lot of Python scripts, something called Unicorn, Wi-Fi, yes, and it updates my whole system for me. As you can see here, it shows me how much megabyte per second it does, kilobytes, how much time it took, and it is completed now. That's perfect. It is so much more user-friendly than it is on Windows, if you ask me. One of the other things that also was quite nice for me was the software manager store in here. I have a tab for all my updates here. As you can see, there's a general system update, which I can get, and the software manager has an update as well. I can look at all my installed softwares here, even the add-ons. I have the system apps, and here is all of the applications that I have running, right? I can also go and explore, and there's some open software here. There's play, there's develop, learn, work, create, and socialize, and that just gives this place so much more to me. It's less bloated than it was on Windows, and there's no ads. I have a different desktop environments, as you can see here, so I can run Firefox on this one, and then I can go into this one. It's clean. I can open something else, it is a lot faster than it was on Windows, and that's pretty cool. And the main thing for this was the gaming side of it. Everything just works, basically. Even older games like Fallout New Vegas works better, in my opinion. So yeah, this was a quick first 2-week guide on my Linux thing here. And the last thing I actually want to talk about is OBS, actually. So the one thing that I did miss on the Windows side of things was the full screen audio was not available directly on OBS as it was on Windows. So I had to go and install that. So OBS Linux game audio only, and there was a capture port of completion. It took 1 minute and 23 seconds. I used the terminal twice and it just worked. So yeah, the terminal is not that scary as things might seem. So yeah, I will say thank you guys for watching this small video. I hope it is something better for you guys. I will definitely keep going on this. So yeah, bye.